we appreciate all you guys for tapping in with us. We're gonna take this shot. Ooh, no chasers this time. That's crazy. So today we're gonna be getting into relationship and the dating scene now, and how me and my boy will go into it if we were available and in the dating scene. So Wanavelli, if you were a single man and you were in the dating scene, what would be some of the things that you would look for in a woman? I know for me personally, a lot of the qualities that I would look for might be outside of the norm, but I feel like they're so valuable. You know what I mean? I would personally would look for someone who is genuinely a good person. Not just putting on a front. Someone who genuinely cares, like, to meet me as a person and accept me as who I am. You know what I mean? And someone who is respectful. You know what I mean? So respectful and submissive. So that is attractive to me. You know what I mean? That speaks volume, because you can go and get with someone who might look good, you can brag about the first 2 months, but if someone is it looks like a 10 out of 10, and it'll be cool to make all the posts, but at the end of the day, behind closed doors, you and her don't click, and you and her don't like necessarily mesh. You're gonna be unhappy. So if going back to what I was saying, if you were in the dating scene, how would you maneuver and how would you go?
I think like understanding like the roles that you're in, like what are you trying to look for, right? Like let's say me, personally speaking, if I am looking for a woman or trying to maybe, you know, kind of have like a standards of what I want, right? I have to understand where I'm at this moment in my life, what I need when it comes to like a partner, the structure that comes with it. Let's say I'm a man that, I'm very ambitious. I got goals for myself. There's a lot of benefits of me being alone. I need to do things for myself to be able to achieve these goals. Are you willing to, be my partner and help me get to those things? Are you going to hold me back? Are you very clingy? Are you going to make it difficult for me to trust you? Can I trust you? Are we aligned with the same goals? What are you trying to do with your life? Where are you trying to go? What is your role? Do you want to be a trophy wife? Do you want to be a stay at home? Do you have your own inspirations to chase as well? I think it really comes with like communicating, like what am I looking for a woman? What is she looking for in a man? And does that align? Because the worst thing to do is try to make somebody fit in your life that might not have the right criteria or is different from you in what they're looking for in a man. You have to like be compatible. So for me, I wouldn't waste time. You could be, the most attractive person in my eyes, but if we don't align, then now we're just wasting time. Like I'm not going to try to mold you to be a way that you're not naturally. And so for me, right, I'm just looking for a woman that can guide me and take care of me and, help me around doing the things that I don't prioritize. I don't want to waste time, honestly, doing things that are tedious, that pushes me away from my goals. And, some people are like, you sound like a traditional man. You want the woman to clean all day. You want the woman to do the chores. You want for her to cook food and stuff like that. Yeah, I do want that. Like, I need that. Like, I need that to help me achieve these goals for us. I'm doing this stuff for us. Like, are you willing to do that? And if you're not willing to do that because you have other goals and you don't like to do those things, that's fine. Then we don't align. Nothing's wrong with that. Like, I'm not going to judge you. But there's other women that are willing to do that. That are willing to be the nurturer and the nurturer and the person that's caring, that's willing to take care of me and also their family. And then I'm going to be also their anchor to holding them down. Like if they're upset, if they're struggling, if there needs to be communication, if they don't know, if they're struggling with their self-worth or whatever, I can provide that. So I think it's like understanding like what are you looking for in a woman? And then like what that woman that you're interested in, like if you're trying to date or interested in, what does she want? What is she looking for? And then from there, you kind of make your move, whether this is the woman or whether it's not.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I 100% agree with you. And that having that transparency with each other is very important because you guys don't want to get a year down the line, get married, get two kids down the line, and then figure out like, oh, we don't align. That you guys want to have those hard conversations up front and figure out what you want, what the woman wants, what the guy wants. Like, what are you guys looking for in a partner? What what your beliefs are. Do you guys align? Are you guys willing to give and take from each other's situation? You know what I mean? So and that's what comes with having your standards in a relationship. Another one of the questions I wanted to ask you is, do you believe that having standards in the dating world or while you're looking for your partner is that important? You know what I mean? Because in my personal opinion, I feel like the times that I had a standard and I kind of okay, well, they didn't check this box, but it's okay. And I was put in a lot of situations where I did not crash out, but it didn't work out. You know what I mean? And I feel like I wasted a lot of time. I definitely did learn a lot of things, but I knew, okay, this person is doing something that I might not like. You know what I mean? And I accepted those things because I wanted to be with this person. And then when things started to aggravate or things got heated, it was just kind of like, now it's revealed that like, okay, I wasn't cool with this to begin with, so why wasn't it communicated? A lot of these relationships that I was in, like it helped me grow and helped me to be better. So you know, I don't fuck up in the relationship I'm currently in, or it makes me a better man. You know what I mean? But I believe like you having your standards and you knowing what you want, sit down and even if you have to write it out, we've said this plenty of times, even if you have to sit down and write out exactly like what you looking for in a partner, what you look for, if you're a woman looking for a man, like what you want in the leader, what do you want in a person, or if you want to be the leader in the relationship, communicate that at the very beginning, like I want to be this, I want to be that, like this is how it's gonna be. Same thing for a guy looking for a girl. Like let him know. Like in your case when you're saying like, I want a woman that's going to cook, clean, and nurture. Like I feel like that would be in alignment with me. That's perfectly fine. And you being upfront with that is perfectly fine as well. Like no one's right, no one's wrong, because there's plenty of different scenarios where even a man staying home and being staying home dad and the mom working, or vice versa. Like it's we're living in a time now where anything can work with the right communication. You know what I mean? So, but to get back to the question, do you believe it's important for someone to have standards in today's dating society?
Yeah, you need to absolutely have standards, or else you're just, you know, like a deer in the headlights. You're kind of just moving around, messing around, and wasting time. I think like you need to structure your standards and like what are you willing to deal with? What are you willing not to? And what are you looking for in a relationship? Like you need to have standards on like, okay, I need somebody that could maybe, take care of me while I'm doing all these other things to take care of us. I need certain things for myself to keep me at ease. And also it helps me to achieve these other bigger, higher, pressured, ambitions that I have on myself that can, sometimes, just hurt my mental health, or it might make it harder for me, or these goals. I'm going to have hard times. Like, can you help me while I'm going through these things? Can you uplift me when I'm down? Can you question me when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, even though I said it? If I said I'm going to work out 2 times a day and I'm not doing it, can you hold me accountable? Like, I don't need a mother. I don't need somebody to tell me what to do, but I'm going to slack off. Things are going to happen. I might procrastinate. I might be caught up in my head. Can you get me out of that? Like you want those standards to, you got to know what you want. You know what I mean? Or else you're just wasting time. And I think at a certain age, you start to structure what you really want. When I was younger, I didn't really have no structure. I'm just, a beautiful woman I'm attracted to. I think it would be great having sex with them. at a young age, and it was, it was great. It worked out, right? Sex is the only thing I was looking for, so it was good. I was getting that standard, but then when it came to like the older I was getting, it started becoming less about sex. Are you gonna help me be better? Are you honest? Are you loyal? Right? Can you hold a conversation? Is it all about entertainment? Can we have deep conversations? Can we talk about what we're trying to do in life? Like it started getting to that point. Like, can I grow with you? Can I plan a future with you? Are we aligned with the same goals, the same visions? Are you willing to sacrifice some things and am I willing to sacrifice certain things, my pride, my ego, in order to achieve these goals? Like, you gotta have these standards, or else you're gonna be confused. Like, I think the biggest thing I hate is like wasting time. Like, any relationship you've been in, even if it didn't work out, even if it didn't go your way, even if you felt victim or like whatever, there is a message in there. Like, the person you were with was a reflection of you at that time. And take note of what you let acceptable to then realize to never do again, and make sure like it's a standard from now. Like, you need to do these things to kind of structure like what you're looking for in a man or a woman or whoever your partner is, to try to structure a better relationship. Because at a certain age, I mean, me and you were like 27, like, early mid 20s or late 30s, almost getting to late 30s. I mean, late 20s. Like, we need structure. Like, we need somebody like we can easily kind of predict their movements. Like, they're not unpredictable. Like, they're gonna hold it down for me. They're not gonna just, when things get low, they're not just gonna switch up on me. But if money gets involved, they don't try to keep score of what they did in life or what they did for you. I mean, like, you want somebody that has, for me, I would rather have loyalty over love, right? I think like 21 Savage said it in an interview, and I kind of thought the same too. Like, I don't really care, honestly, about love that much. I mean, you do things in the base of your heart for love, but you could love somebody and still hurt somebody. But loyalty is like, you have the best intentions for that person, and you're honest and you're authentic, and you are willing to sacrifice hurting them by being loyal and communicating. Because you're not going to stab somebody in the back if you're loyal. If you're loyal, you're never going to stab somebody in the back. It's in the word itself. But if you love somebody, you can hurt them by not communicating, not being honest, by not speaking of something, or not being honest about your approach or your intentions. So like, for me, I have the biggest standard for me is like, can I trust you? Like, can I do these other things, come back home and know that you have my best of interest at heart? So like, standards is like the biggest thing. It's like the base for me. You're not gonna get the perfect person. You know what I mean? Have certain standards for you, and try to you'll find somebody that fits those standards. It might not be perfect, but I think you want to start with having a structure, because you don't want to just get with anybody just for any reason. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You couldn't have said it any better. And like you said, I'd rather have loyalty than love, because at the end of the day, and you could even say this for love, it's a choice. You know what I mean? Whether okay, my partner isn't cool with me going to hang out with this person of the opposite sex, but I'm going to do it anyway, because as long as he doesn't know, it's not going to hurt him. You know what I mean? You're being a snake in a sense. Or whether like someone is, doing something behind their partner's back. Like, at the end of the day, it's a choice. Like there's a lot of steps to cheating. So if someone is willing, that's why, like, I just feel like one of the things where it's like there's no point of return. It's like, it's the cheating thing, or having sex with someone else. It's like there were so many steps that were taken to actually commit this act against your partner. And you know what I mean? It's so many different steps of betrayal. So I already knew, like, for me, like, in the dating scene, I knew, like, if someone was to cheat on me, like, no matter how much I liked them, I knew that was the end of the relationship, because at the end of the day, that, like, there's a certain level of respect they didn't have for you. They didn't fear losing you. They didn't care about losing you. They made a choice to actively, like, go out of their way to fulfill their needs because of maybe somebody else was more attractive to them, or they had more money, or they were there in a point of vulnerability. You know what I mean? Like, so I just think that, you know, love and loyalty is a choice at the end of the day. And I know, you know, as for me in a relationship, you know, me with my girl, 100%, I will always choose to make my partner comfortable. I would always choose to pick my partner over my like emotions, and that's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? And I'm always gonna communicate like with that partner if I have any urges, anything like that, and that's gonna improve, you know, where we're at. So like when you're tying it back all into the dating scene, when you're looking for someone, starting off from the very root and the very beginning of that relationship, communicating every single thing that you feel like will be a problem, would be beneficial, that what you need, what you're looking for, it's all gonna tie back because it's gonna be like there's no excuse now. It's like, oh, okay, like he said he's gonna need this. I don't think I'm gonna be able to give that to him. So this isn't gonna work. And that's better than going, you know, a year with somebody and then figuring out like, oh, this is the type of person they really are. You know, so, you know, at the end of the day, you know, be open and, you know, transparent with uh, you know, people that you're looking for, or, you know, looking for a partner. If you're ready to look for a partner, looking for a partner. And another one of the questions I wanted to ask you, um, when do you, when do you feel like will be a good time for someone like, you know, to start dating or anything, even like, you know, just a regular 21-year-old? When would it be okay for someone to like start dating, or, and, you know, what would be like a kind of formula to find like a good woman in today's dating society? I know we kind of talked about like, you know, what we would expect, what we would do, but if you were looking for a ideal like woman, let's just say we were both on the marketplace, we were looking for an ideal woman. What would be some of the things that you look for and that would attract you to a certain type of person? Because I know for me, certain things are attractive to me. Certain um, qualities, like I feel like at sometimes I can. I'm not saying that the physical doesn't matter, but at sometimes I can be a sapiosexual. It's like being connected to somebody through your mental or through an emotional connection. You know what I mean? Like someone having a certain mental state, and you'll be like, you guys vibe with each other because you guys are on the same frequency. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes that's better than, okay, someone might look more appealing, but is that the best person for you, or is it more of like a status thing? Like, oh, I have like the baddest person around. You know what I'm saying? So, for you personally, what would be like the ideal like thing you would look for in a woman, like in like today?
Mm-hmm. I think it also starts with your approach. Like as a man, if you're always chasing women, you'll get the woman that you want. But if you're trying to better yourself and you're focused on your goals and ambitions, and you're putting yourself in those like situations, those places, like I'm going to the library to go get the 4 agreements, or I'm going to, you know, Target to go get some notebooks and notepads or a vision board. If I'm going to a certain part of my career, you will get the woman that you need. Like you'll find the woman that you need naturally without actually chasing it. So like if you're chasing, you get the woman you want. But if you're trying to be a better person and you're going through the phase and you're not desperately looking, you're going to get the woman that you need. So I think it starts with like your approach first. If you're all about women and stuff like that, I think it says a lot about you and a lot about your lack of ambition. No woman's going to want you. I think younger women, when I say younger, I think a mindset, like a certain mindset of women you will attract. Like if you're all about just chasing women and, you know, panty chasing basically, then you're going to get what you attract. But if you're focused on your goals and your ambitions and you're not trying to chase, you're not desperate, like your purpose here on this earth is way more important, then you're going to naturally find the woman that you desire and what you actually need. So it starts with the approach. And then from there, I think you work with kind of, it's about who you are and how you are and about what you attract. I think manifestation is real. Like, I'm looking for a woman that is loyal. I'm looking for a woman that is, puts, I don't want to say put yourself last. That's not the right word, but I want to say does things for the greater good of the vision and the plan and knowing her role. And as a man, they have their role, right? Like, the provider. If somebody breaks into this house, who's going to step up? The woman's not going to step up, right? Unless she's trained on, fighting, or she, knows how to use a gun, stuff like that. That's great. Both of you guys are ready then. But most of the time, like certain women, they're very vulnerable. You know what I mean? A grown man could be not have no combat experience, but they could be the same weight class and will already be naturally stronger. That's just the way, the human bodies works between like male and female, right? Like the male is stronger naturally when it comes, especially if you're a woman that trains and you do CrossFit and
you whoop ass for a living,
right? You whoop ass for a living. That's not for you. Yeah. But if you're a regular woman that goes to school, you don't really work out like that, or you work out kinda, not really for strength, but for aesthetics and how you look. Another man that's stronger than you, or even has a crazy desire, or might be mentally not there, they'll take advantage of you. You know what I mean? They're stronger than you, and that just sucks. It's just the way it is. Like we could sit here and try to act like it's not true, but it is. Do you want the man that's going to provide and wants to provide for you and just needs you to take care of them and just guide them, and they're willing to help you at the same time achieve whatever the hell you want to achieve too? Then great. You know what I mean? Like you have to know your role and where you're at. And it starts with communicating, and everybody's so different. Like, you know what I mean? Like your relationship is completely different from my relationship. Exactly. Just like everybody else that's probably watching and listening, it's completely different to theirs, right? Mm-hmm. You take what works for you and what's in your situation. But I am nobody to judge. I am nobody to think that the way I approach things is right or wrong in your eyes. I don't care what's in your eyes. Like I'm doing what works for me, and you should also do the same thing. But it all starts with the foundation of who are you looking for? What do you need? What are your requirements? What are your standards? What are your morals? What are your beliefs? Like all these things are key to not put yourself in a situation of your last relationships that didn't work out, right? So you want to keep note of what didn't work out, what did work out, what you actually need, what you actually want, where you are in this life at this moment, also where you're going into the future, right? If I think I'm going to make a lot of money in the future and I want somebody that has stuck with me from the lows and it's going to be with me at the highs, then I need that person that's going to, be able to uplift me and to be willing to be with me on this journey of life. A lot of people switch up, and I've been through that with family, friends, and like everything. You want somebody that's going to hold it down for you. And we're speaking for men, right? Like I can speak to a certain extent of women, but I'm never going to understand where they're coming from. And every woman is completely different, right? Mm-hmm. If you're an independent woman, right? You're going to need a certain type of man. You might need a submissive man. You might need a man that stays at home, that got no goals, willing to take care of the kids and stuff he will have goals for himself and maybe for the relationship, but they're not trying to conquer the world. They're not trying to create a business. They're not trying to do these high pressure things, right? That might be the type of man that you need, right? And then there's the women that are dependent on men. And nothing's wrong with that either. That just might be naturally who you are. You just need the right man in your life to be able to give you, not saying value, not self-esteem, but to make you feel that you can trust him, that can make you feel taken care of. And like if something happens, he got you. I don't think nothing's wrong with having a man that's strong, that you look at as strong, that can provide for you, take care of you, nurture you in a certain way, help you walk through this journey of confusion of life and with social media and maybe their friends or whatever try to instill in their head. Like as long as you have a person that's trying to, as long as you have a person that is willing to understand where you're coming from and is not naive to who they're with, I think that's going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to work out. But it's all about knowing your role, your standards, and what you want and what you need at this moment. But you got to also look a little bit in the future. Like, is this going to work out in the future? Can I trust this person? Are they going to hold it down for me? Are they going to uplift me? Can I uplift them? Are they coachable? Are they open? Are they all about themselves? Are they selfish? Are they not willing to give to others? I can't be with nobody that's willing to give to others, because that's what I'm about, right? Everything I do is to serve my purpose, to give to everyone but myself. I'm good. I don't really need much, right? I just sometimes I'm gonna have my bad days. I'm not gonna feel good about myself. I might be struggling. Can you uplift me in those days? Can you tell me, hey, like you're falling out? Like, go work out how you normally would.
You're slipping.
You're slipping. Like, can I get that? I need that. Don't tell me, come stay in, come relax. Like, come have me do the things that got me to this spot. Like, no. I need somebody who's going to, get your ass up. Get to it. Like,
get your ass in the gym.
Yeah, these goals, these ambitions, all these things that you want, this ain't, this is not helping you get those things. So it's all about where you're at, where you're trying to go, and the type of partner. It's a partnership in a way, and you need that. You need that structure. You need that person that's gonna be your yin and your yang. So yeah,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of the things that you said are perfect. Like you, openly communicating with your partner, having a structure to what you need, knowing what you need, or having a relationship where maybe you're like, okay, well, I want to completely support my woman. So she can, feel free to do anything and everything that she feels that she, wants to accomplish, or if she wants to go back to school, if she wants to do anything, like, I will support her and do those things. And, I feel like that a lot of the things that you talked about is all come back to communication. Openly communicating at the very beginning of the relationship, and we're both checking boxes, male and female. We're both checking boxes. Okay, is this box checked? Is this box checked? Not saying that it won't work if all your boxes aren't checked, but I'm just saying if you're looking for something and and that person checks all your boxes and you guys start dating and things are going perfect, like, it's a good thing. You know what I mean? And if one box isn't checked, it might still work. You know what I mean? You just got to take a chance. So I know for me personally, like in my relationship, all the boxes were checked. You know what I mean? And I feel like it was the first time that I had experienced that. So when, I got into my relationship, and then me, like, being an overthinker, like looking at everything and through a microscope, it was just kind of like I had to get over myself. You know what I mean? So, and I feel like the person that was with me is exactly what I needed and what I wanted, and this type of person that I prayed for. So, all those things is, what is beneficial. As long as you're being real with yourself and you're communicating exactly what you need, there's no need for, a year down the line, 2 years down the line, well, I didn't know that you wanted that. Like, yes, you did. I explained it at the very beginning. We talked about what we both needed. You know what I mean? And holding each other accountable for those things as well. You know what I mean? So, I really do appreciate, your input on those topics. And one of the last questions, kind of to wrap up, this episode, I want to ask you, would entitlement be a thing to where it could lead to you not necessarily, like, if we were or if we were single and in the dating scene, would entitlement be a thing to where, like, it could draw you away from someone who you could potentially date? I know for me personally, to a certain extent, that could, no matter how attractive you are, that can pull me all the way out of that situation. Just for the fact of, like, at the end of the day, nobody owes you anything. not your parents, not your friends, not your day ones. Like nobody owes you anything. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner that things kind of blossom for you. You know what I mean? Like, um, I feel like when you're pursuing somebody, I feel like there's like this thing to where it's like, okay, well, this person asked me out, so they have like this guy has to pay for me, or this woman um, has to let me do this, or I have to have sex with this woman because we're out on a date or something like that. Like, I feel like when someone is entitled to something just because of the scenario, I feel like that takes away from like the moment that you guys have together. And I feel like if it is to that point, I say I'd sent you a video earlier this week where, a guy showed up late to the date, and the woman, expressed like, I'm upset, like, this wasn't cool, and he told her, what, I completely understand. I apologize. I will take you out for a second date, regardless of how this date turns out. I will take you out on a second date. Wherever you want to go, yada yada yada. So the date goes on, and the woman calls the waiter and starts ordering more meals, and they already have their food. They're already eating. They're already about to leave, and he's like, kind of like, what are you doing? And she says, well, you came late, so I'm gonna order my kids meals for tonight. And he's like, no, I'm gonna pay for your meal and my meal, and we're gonna go home, and then I will take you on another date because I do take accountability. I will, like, I was late, which he did not have to do at the end of the day. And she continued to tell the waiter, hey, bring this food out, yada yada yada. So the guy left, and on the way out, he was recording. That's how we got the video, and he was asking people on the way out, like, am I tripping? Like, she's trying to order food for her two kids, and we're on a date. I've never met her kids, and every single, well, he asked all women, but every single woman going out of that restaurant said, you owe her that because you were late. And I feel like that in itself is entitlement, and that's weird that, like, I know it's only my opinion, but I feel like that's weird for even people agreeing with that type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just, at the end of the day, he could have not showed up. He could have showed up, ordered his food, and then said, we're splitting the bill. He didn't order anything for being late. If she was late, you think she would have paid for the dinner? You think she would have split? Like, and at the end of the day, yeah, it doesn't matter. But, the fact that he was like, I'll pay for the next one. I'm sorry, yeah, talking to her, like, it was a certain level of entitlement that was there to where it's like, okay, well, I feel like, she might have thought he had money, or he probably does have money, but it's like, does that mean like he has to pay for your whole household's meals? You know what I mean? So, it was just a whole thing where I thought it was funny. That's why I was sending it out to heck of people. Mm-hmm. What is your views on entitlement, and do you think that would be something that can withdraw you from a woman that you were attracted to in the dating world?
Yeah. I think it's like if we have a relationship with each other and there's things set in stone, there's a role that's already been clear and standards have been laid out. Let's say I'm the provider, I am the protector, I am the one that's going to feed you, I'm bringing the money in, right? Then I'm going to make sure you're fed, right? And if we got kids or you got stepkids, they're going to be fed too, right? They're part of my family now, right? That's if things are set in stone. But if we're going on a date, I don't even know you. You got kids? I didn't even know you had kids. Like, or even if I do know you have kids, that's great. You know what I mean? The fact that I'm willing to take you on a date is the fact that I'm willing to maybe meet these kids if this works out. Maybe I could be, a great role model for them, right? Who knows? Who knows where this can go? But nothing's set in stone. I'm trying to meet you first, right? Do you fit what I need in my life? Do I fit what, you need in your life, right? And, okay, I was late. I mean, as long as you're communicating, that's fine. You're late. You're honest. You don't have to do nothing, right? She don't want to. If she has an attitude and she don't understand the reason why you're late, to me, this is done. Then I don't need you, right? I was interested in you for the moment, right? We messaged, we talked, whatever. But then if you want to have an attitude, because if let's say she was late, I wouldn't have attitude. I wouldn't. Me speaking, she was late. I would not have attitude. It's fine. Whatever. You had things to handle, right? If you had some legitimate things going on, your kid was running late, blah, 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 whatever, traffic, your car, it's good. Like, I'll be okay with it. Like, I wish I could know why he was late. Not to make it excusable, right? Things happen. You know what I mean? And, like, as a man, I would be okay if she was late. But the fact that she's not okay, for me, that's a red flag already. Like, that's a red flag, right? Because I look at it myself, like, I wouldn't be upset with you if you were late, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't say that, nor am I keeping score. That's my preferable thing. That's my preference. That's already a red flag. She's getting food for the kids. I think that's fine, too. Like, okay, she's getting, maybe me being late pushed her to off schedule to make food for the kids. I completely get it. I'm not, in my mind, I'm not paying for the kids' food. I'm not the father. I'm not the supporter. Nor do I know the kids. I barely even know you. We haven't even talked about the kids. I don't even know the kids' names, right? This is a dinner between me and you, two individuals sharing an experience that could potentially be a relationship. I would honestly be watching. I wouldn't assume anything. I would just, resume with the conversation, get to know each other. She's getting the food for her kids. That's fine. But when the bill comes, I'm paying yours and I. They ask, what about this? Oh, that's for her. That's for her children. Now, maybe he approached it too early. Maybe she was going to pay. But if in that video, I didn't really get to watch the whole thing. But if she goes deliberately in the beginning saying that you're going to pay for this, for the kids' food because you were late, which she did.
She did, yeah.
You out your damn mind.
Yeah.
You out your damn mind. I'm not paying for fucking shit.
Yeah.
I don't know your kids. I don't owe your kids. I don't owe you nothing, right? I owed you a good time and for me to be open for you to get to know me to see if this can work. It would turn me completely off. It's over. There's no second date from here. There is, you feel entitled. Entitlement is ugly. It's disgusting to me. It absolutely turns me off. It absolutely doesn't get you far in life. There's a reason why maybe you got multiple kids with different baby daddies. Mm-hmm. This might be the situation that you're in because nobody owes you nothing. What do you provide? You know what I mean? I don't know you. You haven't done nothing for me, right? I don't owe you anything in particular. And this ruined our chance of maybe being something. I could have been more for your kids. I could have been a future father figure. I could have got them unlimited meals for the rest of their life.
Kids for our own.
Could have had kids of our own. But the fact that you think that I just owe you, I owe. Basically, it's kind of like you keeping score. Like, you were late, so you owe me this. I wash the dishes, so you do this. I don't want none of that type of relationship. We're keeping score. Fuck you. Like, I don't want that type of woman in my life. So for me, like, honestly, I say all that, right, with a little emotion, a little bit of like passion, because it does frustrate me. Entitlement is the most disgusting thing in the world to me. Like, it's disgusting. Nobody owes you nothing, right? Especially if you don't back it up with, what's your value? What value do you have? You know what I mean? What? You're a beautiful woman, right? What do you do? What are you going to do for me, right? And I'm not saying like we trade value, but there has to be value. There has to be something that you fit, something that I need in my life. I fit something that you need in your life or what you're looking for. But to start off with entitlement, and I'm done. I don't want no woman like that. I don't want no woman that thinks that they deserve the world yet doesn't even offer the value of a person that deserves the world. You know what I mean? If you've been through some stuff, if you're humble and you're kind, you're open, you move with intentions, you try to take care of people, you try to take care of me, I'm going to give you the fucking world. You know what I mean? If you're there with me in the downfalls, if you're there with me at the highs, I'm going to give you the world, right? I'm going to give you all of me and all the best that I can do because of what you offer me. I barely met you and you want me to pay for your kids and I don't even know you, no value, no nothing. That's entitlement. That's gross. It's disgusting. Like, there's nothing I want to do with you. This is, by the way, you can pay for both of our meals. I'm out of here. Nah, I wouldn't do that. But it's disgusting in my mind. Yeah. Never in my life would I ever want to get with a woman like that.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same. Because, like you had said, roles reverse, you wouldn't even have that same type of reaction. So I feel like, Okay, when it's a person that is keeping score, like, are you gonna keep score on what you do for me for your birthday? Are you gonna keep score of what, how many times you cook dinner for us? Are you gonna keep score of like how many times you wash the dishes? Are you gonna lash out on me every time you feel like it's like no, like if you're not doing things out of love, which I'm gonna do for you because I care for you. You know what I mean? Like if you're my woman, like I'm gonna do things. I'm not even tracking it in my head like, oh, I did this many things for her. I bought her this, I bought her that. No, I'm doing it because out of love. Like I fuck with you. I want to be with you. I want to make you happy. Or even if I know like okay, this little small gesture like buying flowers, like doing this. I'm not expecting this. Like okay, hopefully she buys me the PS5, or hope she buys me the next 2K, or hope she buys me this and that because I've been buying her stuff all this year. No, I'm doing this stuff because out of the kindness of my heart. So once people are keeping track, it's like they're not doing it out of love. They're doing it because they can say that they did do it. Hey, I took you out for dinner, this past 6 months. You know what I mean? Like if you're not doing it for out of love, like don't do it at all. You know what I mean? Like if you're entitled to the point to where like, in the instance that we talked about, like I'd rather, respectfully, like it would have kind of ended the same way. Like, oh, okay, well, I'm not gonna pay for, your children. I will pay for me and you your meal. You can pay for yourself or your children because at the end of the day, you could have planned and had food for your children. I'm pretty sure you had a babysitter or you had them at your mom's. You could have gave her money to cook for them or to go get them food, or you could have got them food beforehand and gave money to the babysitter to order them other food like pizza or whatever they really wanted in advance because you're going to be out at this date, right? And it's all about planning. So if you're not going to plan ahead and have stuff set up for your children for the next hour, how are you going to plan and have stuff set up for your children for the next 10 years, 20 years? Do I want to be with a person that's like that? No. You know what I mean? Because I want someone who is going to plan ahead without anyone having to tell them. You know what I'm saying? Think for yourself. Like, okay, my kids are going to be hungry at this time, yada, 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 and do stuff actively that will benefit them. You know what I mean? That comes from love. That comes from like and there are great mothers out there that will plan a whole day, a whole weekend of their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, they like to eat at this time, so we're gonna order this, and we're gonna have this, and have everything set up. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm gonna go on this date, so they're gonna eat this or this, and this, and then you can order a pizza at this time, and then they should be asleep at this time. There's plenty of people out there that are like that, but from what I've seen from that video, there's no chance that I would have gave that woman a chance.
And I gotta be honest too, right? Like for the people that do agree with that woman too, right? You're not wrong. Mm-hmm. If you think that he should have paid, then he should have paid. But me personally, that's fine, right? Maybe you think I should have paid, that's fine. But I don't think that. And I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong. I'm not gonna say that I'm right. But that is how I move, and that's what I believe, that entitlement is disgusting, and I don't owe you not a damn thing. We don't have no structure, no relationship, right? And you could believe what you want to believe. If you thought that she should have got that meal, that's up to you. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, nor do I care to debate this.
I want to hear it, though. Like, if you honestly think that she was right, I want you to put in the comments, like, why you think she was right and why you think he should have bought those kids a meal.
People would justify why he should have, right?
I want to hear it.
I don't give a damn, to be honest. I really don't care. Like, that's your belief, and I'm not going to sit here and debate it was wrong, right? You could justify yourself, whatever. Entitlement is fucking disgusting, and I don't fuck with it. I don't like it. I don't respect it. It's gross. You know what I mean? If I knew you, we had a relationship of 5-10 years, whatever, that's not even a thought. The kids they're already eating at this time anyways. 6 p.m. They're already fed. Why are we getting meals for them for late night? They already ate already. You know what I mean? Like, if we already been in a relationship, and we could point it back too. As a mom, 6 p.m. or if it's 8 p.m., you're getting food for the kids. They haven't ate yet. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's 8 p.m., 9 p.m., this date time, whatever. You telling me they haven't ate yet? You're getting food for the kids? What, for the morning? You don't cook. You don't cook with them breakfast. You're giving them late night dinner adult food. What are you gonna give them? Asparagus and steak for the morning? You know what I mean? That doesn't. Take a look into yourself. Take a reflection. Yeah. Like, it says a lot. Like, we could dig deeper and deeper and realize, like, that's your responsibility, that's your accountability, or whoever they're with to be fed. So that's not my problem.
Exactly. You couldn't have said it any better. But I
love everybody though.
Yeah. We definitely love everybody, but we're
passion.
We're not going to accept obnoxious behavior, and we're not going to applaud someone for I mean, in my opinion, being wrong. You know what I mean? Because if he would have told her, if she would have showed up late and he would have told her, hey, you're paying for me and you're paying for my son's meal, or you're paying for my boy's meal, regardless of how this goes, he would have got looked at wrong. So you know what I mean? Like, I just I know that that behavior shouldn't be applauded. But I at the end of the day, like Juan said, you're not wrong, you're not right, but at the end of the day, that's not the type of behavior we would accept. But that is the last thing that we were going to talk about in this podcast. And we appreciate all you guys for tapping in with us. We've been talking about stuff, meeting pretty much all of today, talking about merch that's going to come out. I'm 110% sure that you guys are going to love it. You guys are going to be excited to see what we prepare for you guys. So, Juan, is there anything that you want to, tell them before we get up out of here, man?
I think there is something I did want to say. Oh yeah, let me add. I did want to add one more thing to that too. It's like vice versa too. There is some ain't shit men. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen, like, there was like this small video. We'll talk about this real fast. But there's like a video of like a guy, or a picture maybe. It was a guy that took a woman out to go eat, and I guess she didn't have money, or she left her wallet, and like he got food for himself on the table, and just let her like eat nothing. So at the same time, you know what I mean? You don't want to do a situation like that to the wrong man. You know what I mean? Like that girl with the entitlement for the kids' food. If the guy ain't shit, you know what I mean? Situations are different. But the guy, he apologized, take on a second date. This is boom, green flags right here. This is a good dude. And then to act that way, you just lost a good dude, right? But then I know there's other type of guys that ain't shit. If I go out to eat, if I'm taking you out to eat, right? If I reached out to you to go out to eat, I'm paying. I'm paying because I'm taking you out. But nothing is more sexier and more attracting when a woman's like, you want to go half, or her, hey, I got this. In my mind, you're not paying shit. But like the fact that you say that, like, oh, that's a green flags all over the place for me, right? Because you're not going to pay shit. I asked you to go out on this date. I'm going to pay. But I also know, like, the situation I just talked about, that there's some men like that. Those aren't men. I'm sorry. Take that back. Those are boys that are trying to be men that ain't men, that are trying to act like that, say that they are, dress like they are, and drive a car like they are. And that's why you got to be careful of, like, the type of people that you allow. You are a reflection of the people that you get with. So, like, if you keep fighting yourself with shitty men, like, you got to take a deep look in the mirror and revise like your morals, your standards, and what are you really looking for? You know what I mean? Like, and I just wanted to add that on too. And for men too, like, the type of women that you attract is a reflection of you. So like, take a deep look in the picture and look at what you're trying to do with your life. And if you keep chasing these women or men that are like kind of taking too much time from you, and you're not achieving your goals, and you're too focused on like relationships, that's a big problem. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, if you're like a dependent person and you're looking for a man or a woman in your life, I understand that. I understand that role. But if you're trying to achieve more, you're trying to be ambitious, stuff like that, you keep finding yourself in relationships that are holding you back, or you keep finding yourself in relationships that's wasting time, that you're not really serious about your goals or your ambitions. You're looking too much for self-satisfaction, or like relationships that aren't meaningful or aren't going to help you achieve those goals. Those goals aren't high enough, or those goals aren't important to you. So Like, you know, it all starts with like accountability, like within yourself. You gotta look in the person in the mirror and see what you really want. Because if you keep wasting time with all these like different relationships, that says a lot about you, not the people that you get with.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, you're picking the people that you're with.
Yep.
It's like, oh, the last 10 people I've been with ain't shit.
You ain't shit.
At the end of the day. So, but yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for episode 36. We appreciate you guys for tapping in with us.